Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be installing a brake master cylinder brace. Now I will be installing this on a left-hand drive car. It's going to be almost the same for any other brand or style. What changes is how it holds onto a tower. I've seen a bit different changes between both sides, but they're mostly the same. The purpose of these, if you haven't seen them, is to avoid this flexing when you do hard braking. If you haven't seen this move, I'll try to insert a clip right now, and you can see that it flexes when you do a lot of hard braking. Now to avoid this, we install a brace. I will be using a GKtech brand one, but you can use any brand you prefer. Let's start. So like I said before, I will be using a GKtech one. This is for left-hand drive, and my chassis is a 1990, so it might have some slight differences on maybe the bolt size. I'm not sure, it's been a while since I've worked on other years of the S13 chassis, but I'm gonna install it using my chassis as a reference. Verify yours before you start putting this together. To put the kit together, what you're gonna do is thread this bolt or this one right here. This is an Allen wrench. This one is also Allen wrench, but it's a bolt style, depending on what you're gonna do. Thread it to this hole right here, and then use this lock nut on the other side. That's all you're gonna do, and it holds on to these 4 bolts right here. So in my case, the kit includes everything. There's 2 sizes. This one on top, I think it's bigger, so I think it's M8 if I'm not mistaken. This one right here, and the 2 bottom ones are smaller ones, which are M6. You're gonna use whichever bolt fits to your chassis. This one does not have any nut on their side, so we're gonna use the other lock nut on the other side of the shock tower. So that's what you're gonna do to install this. Let me start putting it together and install this. Something I forgot to mention is the washers that are included are size appropriate. So there's 2 different sizes, one for the M8 bolts. Sorry if I'm mistaken if they're M8 or M10, but they are bigger than the M6 ones on the bottom. So there's different washers. Make sure you're using the appropriate ones for each side so you're not missing them at the end. Only hand tightening the bolts and the stopper bolt, do not tighten it until you're done. After you're done, you're gonna tighten down the shock tower bolts, then move on to the stopper nut. Only put a little bit of pressure and then lock it with the locking nut from behind. You will need to use, if you are using the GKtech kit, you're gonna use a 10mm socket and a 14mm socket. In my case, I will be using also a wrench so I can tighten the top bolt that does not have a nut from behind. So you're going to use that if you're having the same situation as me. This is how it should look when you're done. Pretty straightforward. hand tighten everything when you're installing, tighten down the bolts, and then adjust your stopper nut after you just put a little bit of pressure on that master. Tighten the lock nut. In my case, it was a 40mm wrench, and you're done. Pretty simple install, very useful if you're tracking your car, or if you notice that you have a lot of flex. You're gonna notice a big difference in braking after this. If you have any recommendations, anything you wanna see installed on these chassis or any other thing, just let me know. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave any comments you like. Thanks for watching.